Welcome to today's special Starin Town Hall. I'm Malissa Dillman, Director of Strategy and Alliances here at Starin. And I'm very excited that today we're going to do something a little different in that we're going to be doing a live tour with a good friend of mine, Mark Barragan from Zoom. Mr. Barragan, how are you today?
Good, how are you? So excited to be able to work with you, Melissa, one of my best friends in the industry. Every time I work with you, I'm learning something new. So thank you so much for setting this up with us and getting the attendance today. So yeah, looking forward to this one.
Well, Mark, we appreciate you doing this. This one's going to be fun, everybody. What we're going to do is Mark's going to give us a live tour, show us what kind of technology and what kind of rooms they have set up in San Jose for their headquarters. We're actually going to be able to see the room live and in action with the gear. And most importantly, with all of our town halls, you're going to be able to ask questions directly to Mark, to myself, and we'll give you answers right away. So very important that any questions you may have, please enter them in the Q&A at the bottom of your screen, and we'll be happy to answer them. Any questions we don't get to answer, we will post live after the recording. So have a good time. Let's start out with Mark and kind of tell us where you're at.
Awesome, thank you so much, Melissa. So I'm sitting here at Zoom headquarters. I'm on the second floor. By the way, everyone, this is not an executive briefing center. This is just a regular floor. When Zoomies return to the office, this is going to be where they're going to work. So what we're going to show you today is how we've retrofitted a lot of our rooms. Obviously, we had Zoom rooms prior to the pandemic, but post-pandemic, we've done a lot of changes because the technology has changed dramatically, right? So we have a lot of new products that have come out over the past 2 years, and now we're going to be highlighting those throughout the tour today. Now, like I said, it's not an executive briefing center, it's a regular floor, so we're going to be showing you all kinds of different sizes and shapes: small, medium, large conference rooms, huddle spaces, flex spaces, which is an open environment. And also, we're going to show you outside of the conference room, because now we have something called WORKSPACE reservations. And so this is really cool because I've been in this industry for 20 years, and it's always been, let's talk about 4K video or HD video and how much bandwidth it takes and all this kind of stuff. But we've gone so much further now as an industry. We've really grown up, and it's our job to really kind of show everybody just how far we could take this as we return to the office. And the common themes we're hearing with our customers are, we want to make a safe return to the office. So we'll talk about the things that we've done to make it safe return. But then also, a lot of our customers are telling us, we want to make it an exciting return to the office, right? We want our employees to be excited to come back and work with all these new tools. And during the pandemic, it's safe to say everyone has adopted video. So now how do we bring that into the office space? And we're going to show you all kinds of different ways today. So I can't wait to get started. This is a tour. I know when I'm on tours, whether it's on vacation or somewhere else, I like to ask questions. So please keep this interactive so that we can get to some of your questions. I know we might not be able to get to all of them, but right here to my right are the front doors to Zoom headquarters. And visitors and Zoomies, this is where we come through the office space right here. And let's get started with the tour. So on my left-hand side over here, we normally have a live receptionist here. But today, what we have now is what we call a virtual kiosk. The cool thing here is our receptionists here at Zoom, they also could work remotely. So if they can't make it here that day, they can attend right here with the virtual kiosk, or we can cover multiple floors or multiple buildings. So what I'm going to do here is click on the receptionist button. This is completely customizable. So you're seeing right here that I have the receptionist button, deliveries for FedEx, UPS. I have the catering button, security. So if something's going wrong, I can quickly call security. We have issues, facilities team as well, and then IT support, which this is very popular. IT Genius bars use this a lot in order for me to go ahead and do the IT support. So that person can also be working remotely. I'm going to go ahead and click on the receptionist button. When I click on the receptionist button, what's happening is we've configured ours for up to 4 individuals in the background to be able to answer the call here. So it's going to one of those 4 that's going to raise their hand first to allow us access. Hi Farzad, how are you?
Hi Mark, I'm good. How are you?
Hey, I have a bunch of Starin folks with me here today, and a lot of their customers. Mind if we bring them in for a tour today?
Absolutely. You're all set.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Farzad. So how cool was that? And also, we're adding things like gestures, right? So if I don't want to touch the screen, just go ahead and wave, and then I get a live receptionist as well. A lot of cool stuff we're doing. Now, we know this is not a new application. This has been here before. However, why are we showing you this? Because we've made this extremely affordable so we can scale it. The hardware devices used to be anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 per location. The software in the background used to be hundreds of thousands of dollars just for the software and the licensing and getting it up and running. This is something right here with one Zoom Room license, we do not charge for this. So this right here, the virtual kiosk, is already in the Zoom portal. As a matter of fact, everything we show you here today is available today. We're not doing any beta or alpha software. Also, everything runs on the Zoom platform. Right when you start off with Zoom meetings, Zoom phone, Zoom rooms, everything in that portal is single pane of glass. We don't have any third-party software. So that's really cool with what we're going to show you today. No exceptions here. Another thing we have over here is, you notice that when I came up, I hit reception, we have the workspace reservation here too. So this is cool because if I forgot to reserve a space, I can quickly go here, and this is a live floor plan right here of the second floor, which is really cool because now I can zoom in, scroll around, and maybe I want to take Yosemite room here today. I quickly go, select a slot, the time I want, and hit next, reserve that. So really cool what I could do right here with workspace reservation and the virtual kiosk. And this is the DTEN Me. So, Melissa, why don't you tell us a little bit about the DTEN Me and, the costs and availability?
So Mark, you've got the DTEN Me. Are you using the Pro there?
This one's the regular, it's not the Pro.
Regular. So the DTEN Me list price is under $1,000. So one of the nice things with our tight relationship with Zoom is that we're able to provide inventory, which is that's the hardest thing to do right now in this environment. I'm happy to say we do have some available in stock and ready to go out the door. So far, I'm 1 for 1.
Awesome. So, we'll continue on, and, Melissa, if there's any questions in the background, you can, tee them up. But here's yet another place that we could put workspace reservation. So the cool thing here with workspace reservation is I have a D10, D7 here, or it could be an on, but this is an all-in-one device. All I need here is power, network, and I'm off and running. Super simple to set up. Again, just takes the one Zoom Room license, but we have the workspace reservation system running in the background. And so here is a much bigger surface. So 55-inch to 75-inch. Again, just like the other one, I could pinch and zoom. And if I want to get to that Yosemite room, I simply click on it. I can reserve on the fly. Another thing we've done, which is really, really cool, is hot desking. So here I can click on hot desking, select the time, and how cool is this? Now I get the QR code. I can take my phone out right here, and just like this, I can go ahead and check in on the fly. And you see right there, I got the button. I'm all set, ready to go. So I can reserve it, and just like that right here, it reserves successfully. So I could interact with this board really quickly, and now I have my hot desk available for me. Very simple to set these up. So very scalable solution. We don't need a compute device behind it, just power network. We're installing these throughout all of our floors. We used to use a third party for that. Now we have it in the Zoom platform. Okay, so here on our first stop over here is a large conference room, but before we jump in there, we want to show you our scheduling displays. So if you look right here at our scheduling displays, super simple to roll out. Just PoE running through this column over here, and we're off and running. We're using a neat pad here. Prior to the pandemic, we used to use a lot of iPads and Android tablets. Problem was we had to buy enclosures, we had to convert lightning connectors to PoE. With this right here, just runs over PoE, super simple to set up. Now, as I walk over here, I can click on the reserve button, and you can see here that it's actually reserved. So maybe I want a later time, and I can adjust the amount of time that I want. Also, I can go to reserve another room. And once again, I get that floor plan. So very important that all of our Zoomies, as they come back, they're going to quickly be able to get spaces, and I can go right to that Sequoia room, and I can get to the interface from there. Another cool thing is, with these displays, you'll notice that I have a red or a green symbol here on the left-hand side. If I look down the hall over here, as I come to Zoom headquarters, I can quickly see what rooms are available and which ones are not visually. So how cool is this? That right down the hall here, I can see the red rooms and I can see the green rooms for availability. So again, very powerful what I could do. We're using the knee pad here, which does double duty as our touch controllers inside the conference rooms. Also, LOGI just released as well their touch panels as well. So really powerful what I could do with either the LOGI or in this case, the knee pad, which we standardize on here. But those are two solutions. And by the way, we do not charge for scheduling displays. So with one Zoom Room license throughout the entire organization, you get unlimited. You could focus more on buying more hardware versus the licensing. So again, in the past, this was custom licensing, third-party integration, really hard to configure. This is super simple to configure, and we don't charge for that licensing on here. Just with one Zoom Room license, you get unlimited. So Melissa, I don't know if you want to tell us a little bit more about what's on the truck with this one.
So Mark, we do have one quick question.
Yeah.
So what about for like the what you showed us earlier, the reception and the hot desking? Is that a special package from Zoom?
So great question. That's available the second you light up your Zoom Room licenses, right? So the actual DTEN Me does require one Zoom Room license, but as far as the workspace reservation system in the background, we don't charge for that aspect of it. That's just part of our package once you join the Zoom platform.
That's kind of amazing. I mean, those are such amazing features, and in this era, having that ability to have a remote receptionist is
absolutely,
and all with my Zoom Room licenses. That's great.
Yeah, and the cool thing about that, Melissa, is that, again, this makes it more scalable, right? Because I mean, a lot of our customers say we had third-party solutions in the past, and you'd get nickel and dime with the licensing aspect of it. We don't do that. We just want this to be a cohesive story. By the way, workspace reservation, the scheduling displays, all tie into your Exchange calendar or your Office 365, and we support Google Calendar as well. So very simple setup there. And even if you have a third-party solution today that you might just be running in certain spots, we can coexist with others, because at the end of the day, the true north is your calendaring system, right? So as long as we tie into that, we could work alongside other solutions as well.
Mark, you got another question about, can we reserve rooms from the phone app?
Oh, that's a great question. So not yet, however, it is coming. So we're going to have the ability, today we can actually from our laptops go right to the portal, and you can get to the workspace reservation, and right from your Mac or PC you can schedule there. We do have an app coming out right from your phone that you'll be able to have just a workspace reservation tab within the Zoom client, and you're off and running. So that's coming soon as well.
Great news. All right, let me see what you got now.
Awesome. So this right here is a large conference room, 30 feet by 15 feet in width. Prior to the pandemic, this was a Pro AV room. Okay, so we had ceiling speakers, table microphones. It was a complex setup, and it cost about $20,000 to $30,000 per space in this rollout. Now, I'll also mention that not only was it expensive, but it also took 2 to 3 days to roll out. Now, the problem with that is our customers are telling us, we have 1,000 conference rooms, or we have 100. It's just too hard to be able to do those rollouts. So we're focusing on the 90% of the space on this tour, because we're being asked all the time, we need to be able to install these quickly, effectively, and it can't cost $20,000 to $30,000 if I have 100 or 1,000 rooms. So right here we have the LOGI Rally Bar. You'll notice that we don't have ceiling speakers or table microphones. We've replaced them with these little wedges here. Now the cool thing about the LOGI Rally Bar, it's got embedded microphone, big booming speaker, and a large optical lens. So very powerful the way it could pick up this room. Also, how do we install it? So 4 wires is all we need here. 2 HDMI, you have the power, network, and you're off and running. So again, the why here is this right here. Our team here installs this in 2 to 3 hours versus 2 to 3 days. Big difference in scale. So I like to give the analogy of at home, I used to have 5.1 surround sound, and it sounded much better than what I have today. However, I've moved over now to a Sonos bar. The Sonos bar now, everybody in my family knows how to use it. In the past, it was the 5.1 surround sound. My wife was like, I don't know how to use this. This is complex. So we will only use it 10% of the time. Now my bar is getting, I would even say 200% more utilization, because we use it all the time when we're watching television. And then also, our family uses it as a music bar. So it plays double duty. So these right here are in that kind of simplicity, right? Just like how Sonos was changing that paradigm, we're doing that here. So another thing, safety, right? So in this space, normally I would go up to the touch panel and click on to start the meeting. I'm going to do ultrasonic pairing. So this right here is sending it a signal, and I'm going to go and jump into the meeting right now and show you guys the experience from this space.
Recording in progress.
While you're doing that, Mark, you were talking about the knee pads, using those as schedulers or using them as controllers. Another product that we do have in stock and ready to deliver today. So that's great news. We're not talking about products that are not available. So if you have people who are interested, we can make that happen for you right away. And the Rally Bar, same thing. Rally Bar is an excellent device, and bringing that up to take a look at it is going to be awesome.
Yeah. So now I'm in the space over here. And the cool thing is I did this all from my actual device here, mobile device. Now, normally the camera person would show you, but basically everything I do on my mobile device, I could do right here from the actual touch panel. So very powerful what I could do there. I purposely left this scaled all the way back so you can see just how far back I am. I'm sitting at about 26 feet back from the actual device. So what I'm gonna do now is put on auto framing. And so the cool thing here is you're gonna notice that it's automatically gonna condense that space between me and the back of the room here. So how powerful is this? And as more participants come walking in, the camera will make the adjustment for the additional participants. So very cool what we could do with this camera. And again, super simple. The microphone's embedded. I don't need any table microphones. I don't need any ceiling speaker. Now, I'm also gonna go all the way to the back of the room, 30 feet back. Even if I turn my back around and I start talking the same tone, I'm not changing it, I'm actually lowering my tone of voice. That's how powerful the microphones have become. So now, not saying that, table microphones are bad or ceiling speakers and all that are bad. We're just saying that in order to make it more scalable, this right here works very, very effectively, right? It's super powerful what they've developed. And in this space here, we recommend the LOGI Rally Bar, 30 feet or less rooms. We also recommend the Neat Bar Pro, and then Poly has the X70. All three of those solutions work in this size of room, whereas before that used to be a complex setup. So
you've taken something that used to take days and you've pushed it to hours. You look amazing. The functionality, I love your friends that come and go and leave you, but yeah, their functionality of being able to pick them up makes this such an easy device to use.
absolutely.
There was a question about what displays are we using, Mark?
These are LG displays, great question. And then we have, our team could put in the types of brackets we have, because a lot of our customers ask, well, I love the fact that we could just roll back the screens. So we have the names of those as well if you want them. But, really, really cool setup over here. Very, very, like you said, very scalable. That's what we're focusing on. In the future, we will show you guys how we do our Pro AV rooms in the large spaces, auditoriums, our boardroom. Some of those where we do require additional work, but this right here is the easy button, and we'll show you some more. So let's go ahead and continue on the tour.
All right. Well, while you're taking a walk, we did have a question about what was the camera in the conference room. I believe it's the one we were just looking at. That is the Rally Bar that we were just using. So.
Yeah, that was a LOGI Rally Bar in there. And by the way, right now I'm in the hallway. You guys are seeing me on a camera that's not a Zoom room, right? This is a production that we use with our Zoom events platform. And so we, the cool thing in this tour is we want to show you guys a bird's eye view of our spaces and also show you guys how these devices work, which is, I love doing that, right? And seeing that remotely. So our next space over here is what we call our huddle space. We define a huddle space as a space here at Zoom headquarters. It's 2 to 4 participants. And for these, we want to make it super simple. And all we've done here is we've taken the DTEN D7, which is, by the way, the same device we had the WORKSPACE reservation on. We now have that in this small huddle space. Now, this is cool because I don't even have to be in a Zoom meeting to use these devices, right? So a lot of our customers say, do I have to be in a Zoom meeting? No, you don't. I could walk right into this room, and what's 3 of the most common things we do in these spaces? Whiteboard, phone, and also sharing our screen. So if I just jump into the space over here and I say, I just want to go ahead and start a whiteboard session over here. Maybe this is too light, so I want to put it into the dark mode. I could do that. I have the additional colors over here that I can do. You'll notice that my writing is not the best, so I have shape recognition as well. So it can clean up my writing over here. So very effective what I could do. What happens usually when I'm done with this? I usually take out my phone, take a picture, send that out. Don't have to do that. I can simply come here and click on anybody's name over here. And just like this, I can go ahead and send this out to somebody's Zoom chat or their email. So really cool what I could do. And this ties right into your corporate directory. Question I'll ask all the time, can I send it to someone outside of Zoom? Absolutely, as long as you send it to their email or if they're in your chat. So really cool there. This is a big Zoom phone. So how cool is this? I walk up to here and I want to make a quick call. Now, This is my real cell phone, so if you guys don't like the tour, please don't blow me up. I do apologize for that, but just like that, I called my cell phone. You can see how easy it was to do. And this is, by the way, is one of the best phones you'll ever use. It's got a 16 microphone array up here. It's got the speaker coming out of the side, so really powerful speaker phone. And then, one of the other things as well is we do in Spaces, we share content, PowerPoints, videos, Excel spreadsheets. Now, this cable right here is HDMI. We normally plug in HDMI, right? But what we've done is we've said, okay, come back after the pandemic, no more cables. So wireless screen share prior to the pandemic was a nice to have. Post-pandemic, we're being told by all of our customers it's a must-have. So right here, just like I showed you guys earlier, there's an ultrasonic frequency that comes from the TV right here to my laptop. And when it does that, it basically hits my laptop over here, and it does the ultrasonic frequency, and it tells it you're in this space over here. And when it hits it, then basically the wireless screen share will go ahead and initiate. So really cool what I could do over here on the fly with wireless screen share. We also have this sharing key up here. So if you notice the sharing key up here, we can also use that if you're a visitor or you're someone else that wants to come into the a space over here to take advantage of that as well. So just like that, I could do that. I'll show you guys that, this is now my laptop over here, sharing this out on the fly, really cool. And the motion, by the way, is very, very efficient what we could do with the Zoom client. By the way, we don't have any extra software in the laptop. It's just a regular Zoom client. Also, I can say that, I can annotate. So, Melissa, the rock star in the industry over here, is, joining us today. Mark's here, but, maybe we should cancel him out next time. So really cool what I could do. And when I'm done, I can send that out as well. So really cool with annotating on top of content right here on the fly. So very powerful. When I'm done, I can either stop sharing from my laptop or the board over here. So just like that, now we go back to the board. What else could we do in this space? This right here will allow me to jump into the space with you guys, but I really want to show you guys voice commands. So, another safety feature. Hello, Zoom. Join meeting.
Do you want to join the meeting?
Yes.
Starting the meeting.
Recording in progress.
Now you're hearing me from the actual space itself. Now this is cool because, again, the microphones, like I said, are very, very powerful. So whenever I'm walking around the space, turning around, doing whatever it is I'm doing, you're going to be hearing me. So there's no need for table microphones in this space as well. Very powerful microphone, rich pickup. This is an industrial microphone over here. Also, if I want to go over here and start whiteboarding with you guys, I could do that, right? If I want to have a tic-tac-toe session with someone, I could do it on the fly. This now is in a meeting, whereas before I was just using this device outside of a meeting. Really powerful what I could do with the actual DTEN device over here. So really cool. And Melissa, why don't you tell us a little bit about availability and pricing of this device? Because again, remember, this room here used to be a codec, camera, separate monitor, a little more complex to set up. And now we've got just this all-in-one device.
Right. So the D10, I think we're working with a 55-inch there, but
Yep.
The D10 product, the interactive, the 16 microphone array, 4K camera, few fun details. List price is around $4,300. And we do have some in stock. They are amazingly easy to install. And one of my favorites, and I get this a lot when we have new customers, is how do I share? What do I connect to? What do I plug in? And you just demonstrated we don't have to plug in anything. It is super simple. You don't have to download software to your phone or your computer. Amazing tool. So those are available and ready to go.
Yeah, and everything we do here in the tour is live, right? There's no scripting or there's no things launching. We're literally, I'm walking through here and just using these things on the fly. So anything that can go wrong will go wrong. There's Murphy's Law. But luckily, we're halfway through the tour and we have utmost confidence in our technology here. So this space is called a flex space. So flex spaces are open environments at the end of the day, but we just like to call them flex spaces because we think it sounds cooler here at Zoom. But a lot of our customers are saying, yet again, more spaces, we're going to be putting more video-enabled devices, Zoom rooms, hopefully. So in this space over here, you'll notice on my right-hand side that, there's a couple Zoomies actually in here today, but we're not back to the office yet ourselves. But the day will come where this is full of Zoomies and it's going to be extremely loud. Now, being really loud could be a challenge for audio in this space. But what we're going to demonstrate right now is audio fencing. So we have an invisible fence right here. Now, I could have built another wall partition over here like we did to my right. We literally built that room out. However, we want to keep this an open floor plan. So with audio fencing from the Poly team, and then we have the acoustic bubble coming from the Neat team, we're going to be able to use these spaces and blind out the audio. So let me go and join in and show you guys.
Recording in progress.
Mark, while you're doing that, we've got a couple of questions about, interesting enough, adding the Shure MXA 910 or the Shure series microphones to rooms. So I just want to address that really quickly. Absolutely, Shure can be incorporated and we recommend it. We did just announce that we're excited to be carrying the Shure line of products. I think what you'll probably be more interested in seeing is maybe if we can talk Mark into it, doing another tour of some more advanced spaces, larger spaces, specialized spaces, where we would expect to see integrated microphones like the Shure series. So know that yes, you can do it. We're happy to help you do it. And maybe next time we'll even take you on a tour and show you how to do that live. So thanks.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Promise we'll do that too. I think that's very important to cover that. By the way, all the spaces we have today, like the first one, the Logi, they have table microphones that you could deploy after the fact. So we like to say here at Zoom, keep it simple at the beginning. If we feel we need more, we can always go retrofit them with the Shure microphones, or we could do the table mics that Logi has. A lot of our spaces with our boardroom, we have the embedded Shure microphones in the ceiling even. So we do still use that. However, you know, in order to cover a lot of these spaces, we like to start off simple first, and if it works efficiently, then we go with it. Now, you're hearing me from this Poly X50 device, and I have that invisible barrier over here. So I'm going to continue to talk the entire time, and I'm going to go ahead and walk past that barrier so you can see what happens. And I'm going to look at the camera time. Start coming back over here, then it'll start picking me up again. So how cool is that? I was able to walk past this, right? And you see the barrier. Now, this is Poly technology. They're really, really good with audio. So, you know, yes, we could do this on our Zoom client, but we defer to Poly in these spaces over here because they've been doing it for a really long time in the hardware. So really cool what they can do. Our friends at Neat as well are working on acoustic bubble to try and get that out. But Poly has this today across their line of appliances. And we could tell you that, you know, this is a huge hit to our customers because not only in this space, but think like maybe on, you know, outside of the wall here, there might be some sirens. There might be, you know, AC. There's AC, by the way, it's humming. You guys probably can't even hear that. The noise block AI, Poly's done an amazing job of learning all these different types of frequencies and blocking them out.
And it'd be amazing when you consider when people do come back, and Mark and I are hard believers that we will see that day again with a lot more activity in these offices. To be able to sit there in that environment, have a conversation with someone on a far side and not have the noise around you disturbing you, that's a great advancement in the technology. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and it's, by the way, it's only getting better. So is it perfect? No, it's not perfect, right? There's going to be some challenges with glass walls and then audio bouncing off. However, this thing continues to improve, and you know we're really cheering on our team, our friends over at Poly and Neat to go ahead and continue to improve the technology.
You know what's even better than that, Mark?
Yep.
That Poly X50 is in stock and ready to go.
There you go. I mean, that. By the way, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, Melissa. So
Right.
I could tell you, I've been in this industry for 20 years, and you know, it was always okay. I'm going to choose a standard, and I choose Poly, or I choose Tandberg, or I choose Cisco, and that's all good because you know you don't want to confuse the users. So they learn that UI, and you would never dream about mixing and matching. Now what we're hearing from customers is all of the Zoom rooms we're showing you today, by the way, all have the same UI, the same touch control interface. You know, because we work with Poly, with Neat, with Logi. They're the pros at the hardware. We're a SaaS company, so we focus on the software. They focus on the hardware, but they use the same UI across the board. And this is important because I've never heard this in my entire career. We have large customers who are saying to us, we'll say to them, what'd you end up standardizing on? Because they tested a couple of products and they say, we standardized on 4 different products. What? 4 different products? Why would you do that? Well, it's the same UI. Our users have no idea whether they're using a neat bar or a LOGI bar. So that is cool because, again, 2 reasons. One, you can. Sometimes a LOGI rally bar is going to work better if you want that big optical zoom. But then the neat bar might have their things that they can do better for a certain space or environment. And then, of course, availability is what we were told as well, is that they need to be able to order what's available, what's on the truck. And they feel that all these devices we're showing you here today have all come such a long way that it's such a minimal difference between them all. Okay, so another thing we've done here throughout the campus is our digital signage. Digital signage over here is really cool because I could do things like play videos, play PowerPoints, keynotes. Also, top right corner, you'll see that there's a sharing key. If I just want to walk into this space and do wireless screen sharing, I could do that on the fly. Really powerful for that. That's a roaming key as well, so every 10 minutes we change it out to a new one so no one can walk away and share something to the screen. But I also can stream all hands meetings here. So how cool is this? If I want to stream the meeting we're having here today or just a regular meeting to this very display or this floor or this building or region, I could do that easily on the fly. So really cool what I could do with digital signage. The best part here is this is just a regular LG display. So we don't charge for it. As long as you have one Zoom Room license, you get unlimited digital signage. And then right here, you can focus on just rolling out more displays. Of course, you do need a compute device in the back. The compute device we're using is an Azul stick. There are some that are coming out that are going to be Android-based. Our friends at Yealink are going to have an Android-based one. That's cool because it's going to be controlled from ZDM, so you don't have to babysit an operating system like Windows or Mac. It's going to be a true appliance, so really cool what we could do there. And that's digital signage. Now, unfortunately, you're seeing me twice, and you're seeing Melissa as well, which is a much better view. But you can see here that now this very meeting, we're streaming on the fly when it was just playing a video and playing PowerPoints a few seconds ago.
Mark, I think we overlook digital signage a lot. The fact that I can have a Zoom Room license and feed digital signage throughout my floor, my building, whatever, is amazing.
Absolutely.
And it's so easy to use, even with, the Azul stick makes this plug and play super easy. So if anyone has questions about that, I think it's really good to uncover. Digital signage, this is such a bonus with no additional charge. It's part of the Zoom Room solution.
Also, take a look. Digital signage is something that our Zoom Rooms can do when they're not doing Zoom meetings. So over here to my right, you're seeing over here where we have 2 screens doing digital signage. And how cool is this? They're going to go and be digital signage displays until I come up to it and start using the actual device. So once I click on the touch panel, now it goes into Zoom Room mode. So a lot of times our customers say, well, we already have a digital signage solution. And we say, well, we're not trying to sell you anything. You already own it. And they're blown away with the fact that, what do you mean we already own it? Yeah, you have unlimited digital signage because you already own one Zoom Room license. So we're not saying you necessarily have to go and throw away your current digital signage solution, but you can go and enable all of your Zoom Rooms for digital signage. And if you want to avoid the extra licensing, we can roll out even more just regular LG screens or some other screens out there to digital signage.
Absolutely.
Okay, so another thing we've done over here is I have over here my hot desk. So the cool thing over here is I can walk over here to my hot desk, and if I want to reserve it, I can simply click on there and reserve it for whatever time I want. Click on next. And the cool thing here is I have QR code capabilities. So I want to let it know that it's me. And once I do that, I click on reserve. You see in the background, it's going to go ahead and reconfigure itself. So how cool is this? That in the background, this is now my device. And no difference over here if I wanted to also make this phone my device. I simply walk up to it over here. I'm going to go ahead and click on, there's a QR code that you can see here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the QR code. Now, let me get my hand steady. Check in. And once I check in, you're going to notice that, again, it reconfigures itself. And the cool thing is I can set a pin here, but I'm going to go ahead and set that up later. And just like that, it becomes my device. It shows my meetings, and I'm off and running. So really cool. I've made this my workspace. And when I'm done, I could just really go ahead and check out. So really cool what I could do with hot desking. Again, another thing that we basically do not charge for is just the Zoom Room license on the device itself. You don't have to go install it. It's already installed on your portal. So that's the cool part of this as well. And I can get a call here as well. Once it rings, it's going to ring all my devices. So really cool what I could do with that. And just like that, you're seeing that it's ringing both my phone and device because I checked in. I'm going to go ahead and accept the call here on the Yay link. So how cool is this? Now I'm on the call here. Farzad, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Hey, you know what? There's a lot of Zoomies around me right now. Let me go ahead and grab a private space here for us. So what I'm going to do here is, we have these phone booths, and I want to go and transfer this call. And I know that the Muir Woods is open, so room. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And I'm going to go ahead and come over to this space because it's got a lot more privacy. So we call these our phone booths. And the cool thing here in Muir Woods is now I have my privacy. You can see here that my call is waiting for me. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the call that I just transferred out from the outside flex space. And just like this, we're off and running. So over here now, what I could do is I can even escalate this all the way to video just by simply clicking on that. So I went from a regular audio call all the way to escalating it to a video call on the fly. How cool is that? So let me go ahead and get this, and I'm going to go ahead and admit it. This is a webinar, so we do have to take the extra step of allowing people. Farzad, how's it going, buddy?
Hello.
Hey, so we talked about earlier the layout over here of the floor plan. So what do you think about maybe doing some extra spaces or some extra tables? Just like that, we did an escalation all the way to a collaborative call. So how cool is that? Thanks, Farzad.
Mark, I feel a little bad because I'm having a lot of fun on this side answering questions.
Yep.
Our best question of the day so far has been, go ahead, take my money. Love hearing that. Just real quick, that was a DTEN Me that you were just using as well.
Yeah, that was the DTEN Me. So thanks for pointing that out. Yep, because that's the same device you saw at the front of the tour that was doing double duty as a virtual kiosk, and also it's in our phone booths as well. So we're using it for hot desking as well. So really cool what we could do there.
That's amazing. So one of our folks online today is obviously into video, which is near and dear to my heart. On the display that we were showing the digital signage back there with the blue LED behind it.
Yep.
They're asking if that's built into the display or if those are LED strips.
Great question, and thanks for noticing that. We get that quite, every now and then someone catches that, right? So it's not a special display. We literally just put in an LED strip in the back to give it that extra pop.
It looks great.
It looks great. I know. By the way, the strip is very inexpensive. I don't know which one we use, but we can find out and send that out. But it is just a simple strip that we plugged in. I believe it gets powered right from the USB port, yeah, on the device itself. So really, really cool we could do there. I know there's some other displays in the market too that they have those built in, but we're using the strip.
Perfect.
All right. So go ahead. So
it looks great. So that's an awesome tool. Tell me what kind of room you're in now.
So this right here is our classroom or hybrid learning environment. And here, we've taken a lot of feedback because, as you guys know, there's a lot of hybrid learning happening now. And a lot of schools have come to us and say, hey, look, we need to really scale this thing out and we need to make it super simple. So, this normally, I would say this is about the maximum amount of size you're going to want to do the actual deployment that we've done here. It's about a 40 by 40 foot space. We know that, if you get into large auditoriums, classrooms, or when you have a classroom full of 50 or 60 kids, this is not going to work. However, this right here is the 40 by 40. And I'll say that all we've done here is we've deployed a neat board. So the neat board also, what we've done is we put it at a 45-degree angle. Now, this is not our idea. This was a lot of feedback we got from a lot of our educational customers and a lot of our enterprise customers that have hybrid learning environment. They said, look, we don't want all the advanced stuff. We need to make it super simple. And on this allows the instructor not to be anchored down. So as an instructor, you're going to see right now that I can be really mobile. Also, a lot of the students, they would mention that, hey, look, I want to be able to see my classmates and the instructor just like if I was in the class. If I'm sitting at the back of the class, I'm going to be able to see all my fellow students and friends and the instructor at the same time, and that's what we want to get in today. So let me join from here, and I'll show you the experience that you guys will get as being students remotely.
Recording in progress. Recording in progress.
Okay, so we're gonna go and switch over to this room over here. And this does have tracking capabilities, so it can track me. However, I like to, when I use it, when I have remote sessions to do a training, I like to leave it zoomed out because, you know, I like to move around and I like to know that everybody being catched at the same time, caught on the actual video. So whether I'm setting up at the podium and, you know, from here, I can go ahead and talk to my remote students as well as the class. You guys can see me. The most important thing on any Zoom meeting or any device is, you know, what is the experience of the audio? We don't have good audio. I don't have a virtual class. So, you know, I know my lapel mic's not on right now. This is just coming right from the neat board. Now I'm gonna go back all the way to the back of the room, which is about 40 feet. And the cool thing here is I'm gonna go ahead and turn around and talk to you guys just like I would in any of the others. So the point here is, again, industrial grade microphone, very powerful microphone in the D7, the D10 devices and the neat boards. And I can be mobile, so I can move around over here. You guys can see me, you hear me the whole time. If the room is full of students over here, you'll see them at the same time. We have the capability as well if I want to do a whiteboard session. So if I'm doing over here, you know, 1 + 2, right? I'm doing my math equations. Anybody remotely can join me as well. I have the cool features of, if it's too bright, I can do the dark mode as well. I can do the different colors. So really cool what I could do here on the fly. And another common thing that instructors told us they use a lot was document cameras. So here, I can light up my document camera. And how cool is this? That right here on the fly over here, I have my document camera. And just like this over here, let me go ahead and center it and zoom in. You know, I can quickly now, whether I'm a manufacturer and I'm saying here, look, here's the problems we're having with these chips. You know, I can point around and show you guys that the R7 connector, that one's bad. So we really got to work on that. How cool is that? On the flip side, right? So if I'm going to go ahead and have some remote instruction, I can quickly bring real world objects into the class as well. On this case, I don't probably want the lamp, but you can see here where I can quickly show you guys geography lessons or other cool things. A lot of instructors told us, guess what? We don't like to use whiteboard necessarily. So, you know, I like to use my regular notebook, and no exception here, right? So if I want to go ahead and start doing my drawings this way, I can do that. So my logical charts over here, whatever it is, if I feel more comfortable with that, I can do that on the fly. This is an AVer camera plugged right into our HDMI port of the neat board. But the important thing here is what I'm showing you guys is the ease of use. I'm walking around, I'm teaching, you guys are seeing the same thing that my students here in the class are seeing. And by the way, this setup is super simple. Power, network, that's it. And so most like tell us neat boards, what's availability, what's lead times and price.
So neat boards are available. They sit right around list price around that $5,000 mark. So they're available to go, and we can get schools, offices set up right away. The great thing I think today is pretty much everything we've looked at today, Mark, it's available. No long lead times, no waiting. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll just say that, you know, we used to have Pro AV stuff in here and, you know, it worked well. But this right here is super simple to deploy. And right now we're talking all about scale. So the 80 to 90% of spaces out there that have nothing today that we need to go get up and running, these are the types of deployments that are going to be making it scalable. Also, I can attest to my daughter actually goes to a school that has D10s in every single classroom. And when she needs to be remote, she simply goes into the classroom of that instructor. They have the D10. She gets a view into the space. She gets her lesson. I could tell you that it works beautifully, right? So, you know, yes, we can have multiple cameras in here and we could do that and give it a better experience. But we got to ask ourselves the question is, can we do that in 100 or 200 classrooms versus this right here? So that's what we wanted to get out there today. Now, our larger training rooms, which we'll do it, like Melissa said, at a later date and time, those we do have a more complex setup because it's a larger space. So we do need multiple cameras. We need the DSP to get the richer audio throughout the white space. But this here works. You saw what I just did. I did a whiteboard with you guys. I did a document camera with you guys. I walked across the room over here. So very powerful, very easy to use as well, because I didn't have to pick anything up. No software necessary. So really cool what we can do here. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect now, and then I'll join you guys in one last stop. So I'm going to go dark for just a couple seconds. So Melissa, if you want to take this time to talk about anything else, I'll join you guys back in a few minutes here.
So I do want to say thank you to everybody who's joined us today because, we weren't sure. We wanted to try this out, see how a live tour would go. I thought it'd be beneficial. Great comments have come in talking about products and products you use and questions. I really appreciate that. One of the great things that we do at the end of every town hall, and just before Mark finishes here, we announced that we're going to give a $50 gift card away from Amazon for hanging out with us. We know your time's valuable. So today's winner is going to be Sean Murphy. So Sean Murphy, congratulations. You'll be getting an email from Mark Decker, who is with Starin, and he will connect you with your $50 gift card. So Mark Barragan, back to you.
Congratulations. So this last stop, I would say is probably our crown jewel of what we achieved over the past 24 months. A lot of our customers are saying, okay, great. You have Zoom rooms. When we go back to the office, what's it going to look like, right? Because the home user needs to have an equal experience, right? We have to democratize the experience between the home user and the office user. Unanimously, everyone's telling us they're going to have a hybrid workforce, right? Most customers out there. So, they're telling us, well, the problem with being at home is, I dial into a conference room, I get this big bowling alley, I could barely make people out. We've developed something called Smart Gallery. And this one right here, like I said, very powerful technology. Let's take a look at it. We're going to show you the room first, and then we're going to show you the experience from the room. This is a medium-sized conference room that we're going to jump into over here. So it fits about, anywhere from 5 to 6 participants over here. I'll also mention over here that this particular technology has sensors in the bar over here, environmental sensors. So I can see things like the temperature of the room and the people count. Why is people count important? Because I now could note yesterday that this room was fully utilized throughout the day, or maybe only one person used it the entire day, or maybe nobody. So now I have the data to be able to say, you know what, medium-sized rooms are more popular than small rooms, or our large conference rooms are more popular than our huddle spaces. So that data is very important. That's going to lead us to what spaces are the most popular, the most highly utilized, and most efficient. So here we have a neat bar. This is the regular neat bar, not the Pro. 2 screens. Now, this has a single camera, single image sensor. I really want you guys to focus on that because this right here, what it could do is quite amazing. It's got the embedded microphones in the speaker and all that, but this right here, the single camera, what it could do, that is a game changer. So let me go ahead and join you guys from the space over here and show you guys what Smart Gallery is all about and how that works.
Recording in progress.
I like how your friends just come in and join you, Mark. This is excellent.
We want real people and fake people, all the same.
That's right.
So, okay. Now, I'm purposely leaving this all the way scaled back because we want to show you the problem first. We love to use gallery view here, and a lot of our customers like to use gallery view. So what you're seeing right now is, go to full screen so you get the biggest effect. I think right now we're controlling that you're in gallery view. So on the top right corner, normally you'd click on gallery view. Now, up until now, you've been seeing me up close and personal, for better or for worse. But now you're seeing mini Mark. I can look over here at Atlee. How's it going, man?
Hey, how you doing?
I can see if he's really smiling or he's really happy or not. Marilla's always happy, so I don't even know when I've seen her sad. But you guys can't see that, right? It's no fair. Like, that is not a democratized experience. So I'm going to turn on Smart Gallery. That camera is going to look throughout the room to find individuals. And when I turn it on, it's going to give us all our own quadrant. Now I'm back. How cool is this, right? So look at that. Now, this is using AI technology from the NEAT team. It's cropping from the bottom of my chest to the top of the head. There's no PTZ. So if I stand up over here, right, that shouldn't be following me, but it is. So it's really cool technology in the way it works. So, not intimidating because there's no moving parts over here. When I sit down, we're constantly asking, well, what if, it's picking up over here, Eric, which is artwork, and it's picking up the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa, by the way, now we can see that smile that she has. For hundreds of years, we've been trying to figure out why she's smiling. We still don't know, but what if she was at the back of the wall? We don't want her to be picked up. So check this out. When I go all the way to the back, I disappear. Now that's by design, because there's a barrier for the video barrier, just like there was for the audio. And how cool is that, that, you know, we can now put artwork in the back with faces, and we don't have to worry that the camera is going to falsely pick them up. So, you know, obviously the Mona Lisa is in range right now. I'm in range, Marilla's in range, picks us up, we get our own quadrant. This is what we're talking about, democratizing this experience for the hybrid workforce. Our customers have told us, you guys keep calling this a feature. This is much more than a feature. This is a platform evolution. Customers are saying, we will not select a hardware device that doesn't support Smart Gallery. That's just how important it's become to all of our customer base. So luckily, LOGI supports it, Neat, Poly, they've all stepped up to support this. Yealink recently announced it as well. So, you know, very powerful technology. Let's put this all in perspective. For those of us that have been in this industry for a really long time, there's telepresence that did the same thing, right? It was 3 cameras, 3 screens, specialized furniture, and $300,000 to $400,000 price tag. I love telepresence. Customers didn't like the price point. Too expensive, wouldn't scale. Now with this here, we're doing it with a Neat bar. We can move that decimal point over to the left twice, less than $4,000. That is scale. That is scalable solution, right? And that's why it's important that we show you guys this, because yes, telepresence was great, taught us a ton of lessons. But if I were to go back in time and say, hey, Mark, you're sitting in this telepresence room right now, we're going to be able to do this for less than $4,000 in the future. Like, I would be like, no way. That is kind of mind blowing, right? So very powerful what we could do. By the way, this is just version 1 of our Smart Gallery. We've already released version 2, which was basically the ability for us to take multiple cameras in a space and send that up to the meeting. And then we also released version 3 of Smart Gallery, which is the capability of all the Windows and Mac rooms out there in the market already. They also could do Smart Gallery via the Zoom software. So very powerful. Our competitors are talking about this. We've already got 3 releases. It's real. I'd love to sit here and say it was all Zoom technology, but it's not. Our friends over at Poly and Neat, they've all stepped up to the plate. They're the ones that give us the 3 streams, what you're seeing here. We actually just ingest the 3 streams into a Zoom meeting and put them in the different quadrants. So very important what this technology can accomplish. In time, we'll release more streams, right, and more features and functions here as we work with our hardware manufacturers to be able to bring this to the market. So very powerful technology with Smart Gallery, very important, right, because it really does give that equitable experience to the home users. And that's what we wanted to accomplish with this. And you know, this one right here, I would have to say is definitely our crown jewel over the past 24 months on what we've accomplished for enabling the hybrid workforce.
Mark, we have one question that just popped up, and it's a great one. Is there any programming needed for Smart Gallery?
Great question. No, there's not. Like, that's the cool part about it. All I did was enable it right here from the touch panel. Normally, that just stays on the entire time. So no programming required. This is all stuff that's already been baked in by the Poly, the Neat, LOGI, and Yealink teams. And we're just ingesting those streams. So no programming required. Also, we showed you guys earlier today, the acoustic fencing. That used to require programming. That literally is a sensitivity between 0 and 10 configuration. That's it. So that one literally takes minutes to configure. So a lot of really cool technology. But again, the why the technology. And right now what we want to focus on is scalability, because our customers are telling us unanimously, we want video everywhere. It's no longer, I have 100 conference rooms and I only want 10 or 15 conference rooms with video in them. We need to enable them all. We need to make it simple for them. It's got to be hours of deployment versus days. And the price point's got to be there. So that, I think, is the point of why we put this tour together. You know, and we just, you know, thank you everybody for attending today. We've showed you a lot. It was a lot to digest, but we're going to have the recorded link so that you guys can go ahead and follow that. And, you know, the workspace reservation, the kiosk, huddle spaces, flex spaces. I mean, there was a ton we showed you guys today, but we hope it was worth your time to join us, to be able to take, you know, a look into how we're redesigning our offices. And by the way, a lot of our customers are doing this as well now. They're deploying workspace reservation, digital signage on our platform. Super simple to set up. Again, no third-party software was used here today throughout the tour. Everything's available today, and it's right on our single pane of glass, our single platform. No additional modules needed.
Thank you, Mark. I want to say, Tony has asked about the price. Tony, just an FYI, the products that support the Smart Gallery There is no additional price. It is the price of the product and using the Zoom features that are built in by the manufacturers in Zoom. So good news is no big add-ons, no additional pricing. It is very straightforward. And we're excited that a lot of these products are available right now. So I want to say thank you to everybody who joined us. This was an extremely large town hall event. I'm sure because of Mark and getting to see his friends at Zoom. I'm super stoked. We'll do this again. We'll focus on, we did have questions about bigger rooms and more installed. Let's do that. I gotta say, after watching your tour, even I'd be excited to be heading back to the office. I mean,
I hope so. Yep. And thank you, Melissa. These are your friends that you invited, and thank you so much for, exposing us to your guys' customer base and, all the AV integrators out there as well. Hey, look, we can't wait to work with you guys to get more Zoom rooms out there.
yeah, absolutely. If anybody has any questions, anything you'd like to follow up with, you can reach us at starin.biz. We'll be happy to bring in Mark if we need him. If you have questions for him, we're happy to do that. Otherwise, we appreciate you hanging out with us today, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.